Ladies and gentlemen, this is for a Gamers.com video. We have news concerning the frame rate resolutions and gameplay details as well of Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. Now, beginning the frame rate resolution stuff first, the PS4 and Xbox One will both be rendering natively at 1080p. Obviously, details such as the anti-aliasing has not been confirmed yet, and obviously if you're running the PC version it can render whatever the hell your system is capable of, and it will be running, and I quote, a variable frame rate aiming at 60 FPS. So in other words, if you're just crouched down looking at, let's say, a wall texture, you're probably going to be getting 60 FPS. On the other hand, if you're fighting multiple demons from hell, then frame rate may take a bit of a sting. There are going to be some other benefits, however. Oh, and obviously we will be doing full performance and graphics testing on all of the different systems as well, naturally, including frame rate on the Xbox One versus the PS4. So if you're not too sure on which versions for you, then we will be taking a look, definitely. So what about other details? Because there are numerous little tidbits regarding the performance, about gameplay. Well, there are going to be some changes. For example, let's assume that you used the Fire Longsword, which is a pretty powerful early in-game weapon, and for the previous version of the game, many grabbed that weapon and enjoyed its bounty, but now this weapon has been made less durable, and this is the case of other weapons as well. And in fact, certain weapons which were, let's say, or items in some cases, pretty overlooked, for example, they might have been either difficult to obtain, or they might not have been maybe as powerful as they should have been. This is going to be adjusted, so weapons may become slightly easier to grab hold of, or in other cases they may become slightly more durable or more damaging, or what have you. Furthermore, there are going to be some other bits and bobs. For example, you're going to definitely notice enemy locations are going to be a bit different, and there may be more of them. Furthermore, let's say that you walk through, let's say, the fog gate. Well, they're going to follow you. So previously, obviously, if you entered basically a new area, it's kind of like Resident Evil 2 in that respect. The licker will stop following you because, well, you've loaded into a new location. This isn't the case. Obviously, the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One have a much larger memory pool, and so this is going to be taken into account. Now, naturally, they could have done that with the PC's initial release as well, but clearly that would have caused some anger amongst fans, because obviously people would say, hey, well, why is there not a bit of parity there? So naturally they're performing this now. And it's kind of cool, but it does mean the game's going to be a bit tougher. There are going to be numerous other gameplay improvements naturally, and these do include slight graphical tweaks, for example, some post effects, and there's also going to be a few changes to lighting, but generally the aesthetic is going to be pretty similar. So as I mentioned, I would have been a little disappointed if the game had not run at 1080p 60 FPS, and there are going to be a few other core mechanics and gameplay changes as well. Some areas may feel a little bit remixed, and there's also going to be some enemy AI improvements, which is, well, good if you don't like the living, I suppose. For me, who hasn't really played Dark Souls 2 that much, I played the initial maybe hour and a half, just because there was so much crap that was released at the same time, and I just never got around to it, which is a pretty weak excuse, considering, well, I figure this is a great chance for me because this comes with all of the previous DLC, which is obviously a great thing. Anyway, do definitely stay tuned with us if you do want the performance updates on Red Gaming Tech, for example, whether you care about frame rate. It's going to be very interesting to see how much it adheres to that 60 FPS mark, since, well, it's pretty much a slight remaster of a last generation title, and remember that did run locked at 30, although there were a few frame rate dips, and obviously was running at 720p. With all of that said, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon. Take care, and if you could give me a like, share, comment, an internet hug, I would be very grateful. Take care. Bye for now.